Welcome to Thorn Athletic Talk of the Town. My name's Derek McMillan. Today's the March edition. I'm joined by our flag team of Thorn Athletic 35s. Gary, how you doing, mate? Good?
I'm alright. How you doing, Derek?
Good, mate. Nabby, how's things, mate?
Okay, mate. Thank you.
Good. And I'm also joined by our blank picture, Ginge, mate. How's things?
All good, Dave. All good, buddy.
Good. And Ian McCallum, the manager, will be joining shortly. Now, Gary, you have just moved to the Thorn Athletic to give us a new team, the 35s. You have came from Linwood Rangers. What's the background of the team, mate? I heard he's a bit successful. Has it been going for a while? Or?
We've been going for at least a good 2.5 years. It was just started a team in a sort of a conversation. It was really. So we played a couple of games just to get us going, get the boys down, and then we created quite a good team, Derek, and we went on to win the league in our first year.
Good.
So it was really good.
So, Nabby, is it just a case of once you are too old to actually play amateur football, you just want to keep going and keep on to your youth?
Yeah, that is exactly what it is, mate. We when you get to a certain age, chasing young boys about the park, it's not very enjoyable. I do enough for that when I'm refereeing. So, basically it was just a kind of round up the troops that used to play football and basically get a kick about and enjoy it and get out on a Friday night. How successful we were at the start, we didn't really set upon that, but we just gradually, player by player, managed to build up quite a successful winning team. And it was everybody played their part. There was guys that came in and played a few games and fell away, and new guys joined and helped us along the line. Do you know what I mean? So it's been successful to start with, and hopefully this partnership with the Thorn takes us that step forward.
Hopefully. It sounds like you've got a football team in your house now, Nabby.
I have, mate. Just McNab United.
Listen, mate, between the two of us, we could probably get an 11s team to go on.
Aye, mate, I know.
Just wait till you're done, McCallum.
They were the Thorn as well, been rivals for a few years with Archie. But that was the great days. That was days that I loved. I loved playing against all the boys, and they were always a very, very good side. And you have to beat your best to beat them. And now to join a lot of these boys I used to play against, it's going to be great, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm really looking forward to it. I know a lot of the boys inside out, and they all know me. And as Gary and John will say as well, it's just a great step forward for us in terms of moving on as a club that's already in the process to being hopefully a very, very successful club in the long run.
Hopefully, mate. I met you. I obviously had that Zoom call a few weeks ago now, and it was a no-brainer for us. You know what I mean? You've pretty much run yourselves, and you've had that bit of success, and you probably add up how many years you've all been involved with football, a couple of 100 years. You know what I mean? So it's good to see. It's good to have you on board. We're looking forward to it as much as you. As you know, we're all of a certain age now, so you probably need to have two teams when we start getting the requests in. But Gary, what's the structure like, mate? Obviously, you seem to be doing all the kind of admin work, but how's the club going to be run going forward?
So obviously myself, which is I do like the admin and I do the secretary stuff, and then we've got John who plays captain, helps out with the dealing of the day-to-day stuff as well, and then we've got Ginge, who's going to be the team sponsor as well as a player.
The money man.
He is the man. And
Ian's then obviously the gaffer.
Ian's the gaffer. So Ian, we brought in. So me and John had started the team, and we found it quite a struggle to play and run the team at the same time. If you know what I mean, Derek. So we were trying to make subs on the park, and it wasn't working. So me and John had the conversation, and I said to Ian, "Look, do you fancy coming down and just running the team for the side of the park? You're not really having to do anything else outside of that." And he came down and made what a difference he made, didn't he, Nabby?
Yeah. Just I know how hard it is. I played with amateurs, and me and Big Scott McConnell ran it for a couple of years, and it's very difficult. Trying to pick.
I'd say nigh on it. I'd say
who's
nigh
gonna-
on impossible, Nabia.
Given the fact we were just kind of starting off, and it was kind of new, and you're just getting to know everybody and what their strengths and kind of weaknesses are, and where guys are more suited to play. It was a lot of folk came down and just didn't work, and they didn't hang about long. But what a difference it makes having somebody at the side.
Aye.
Aye,
So
they can see the stuff at the side of the park, and it's a total different element.
There's top players that have struggled to be player managers. You know what I mean? Never
Oh,
mind
definitely.
Friday date and a Friday night with your pal, and especially if you're playing shite, you never want to admit it and get to sub yourself off. You know what I mean? So there's just talk.
Well, that's what I found the first couple of games.
So there's Ian joined us. There's the manager Ian. I hope he's more in time for games than he is for this podcast, to be honest.
No, something. It's a bit of a running. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
It's a bit of a running joke in my work how I'm always late for meetings, despite the fact that I'm working from home. I'm still waiting to sign into them.
If you can't go for your bed to your computer to make a meeting, mate, you're struggling when you get back to real life. Anyway, Ian McCallum,
I've just moved house, by the way, guys, so my Wi-Fi isn't connected until Wednesday, so apologies in advance if it cuts off. I may just keep the video off, if that's okay.
It's all right, don't worry. I'm going to get two pictures.
Just
two pictures of you and Ginge and stick it on there. Anyway, Ian, we're just talking about how you're.
It's just so that it doesn't cut off, I think.
Aye, that's fine, mate. Don't worry. But he's just been. The guys have just been telling us you're crap and you're getting the sack. Did you know that? Oh, they were saying that you've come in and made a difference.
That's all right.
Are these boys good to deal with? Ian, are they?
They'll need to get somebody else to carry their bottles in on a Friday night. A lot of bottles, that is.
So are these guys all right to deal with, Ian? Do you get any troubles for them?
Oh, Ian's reception's gone.
Just sending a pigeon down.
Aye, that's that.
Aye, Ian. Even Dale's asking if what we're like to work
move
with.
to the window.
Aye, don't worry. Just as well I can edit, by the way, that's all I'm saying. Right, can you hear me now?
Do you know something? Credit to the. Yes, I can. I'm now standing at the window. What do I like to work with? I thought initially, I'd kind of taken a bit of hiatus from amateur football management, and then when the guys get the team together, I knew the team was going, and it was about getting the guys over the white line to kick a ball again at a certain age, shall we say. And I was a bit hesitant when I spoke to Gary about coming down to help the team, but I like the idea of the no training, no spending hours on training sessions every week, and just coming down on a Friday every other week to help. And that's basically how I looked at it. It's to help the guys. They didn't, in my eyes, need a load of coaching, because if you get to the age of 35 and some over 35s that we've got, I think we've got difficulties or problems if they don't know how to play football. Something, credit to them, they listened, we changed the shape and went with one up top to keep more of the ball, and that's the way that I like to play. And the guys adapted to it. And to answer your question, what they like to work with, they listen. It's just maybe a case of me seeing a runner. It's not tactical genius stuff. It's about me saying, Nabi, watch your shoulder, or Ginge, watch your shoulder. Generally, when I'm saying to Ginge, watch your shoulder, it's in case he injures it. But they're brilliant. They're a good bunch of boys.
Aye, good mate. And as I say, there's a lot of leaders that you've got. I mean, I know a few of the boys, and I know Paul Young's been dying to get involved with these as well. So I'd imagine you'll have about almost 15, 16 managers on that pitch. It's good that it runs itself now. Nabi, the standard's decent in the 35s, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
I've been to watch my couple of mates play with St Peter's, got a Scottish Cup semi-final a couple of years ago, and I think Youngie was involved in a few of the actual Thorn boys that Ginge would have played against. But, I mean, the standard's decent, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. When we obviously get put into the league, we eventually ended up winning. We were comfortable in a lot of games because we were good in the ball and we had a lot of good football players and we had a big squad to pick from, which helped over the year. I think we won it pretty convincingly, playing good football, and we tried to do the right things. When we took the step up and played against teams that were in the leagues above us, in the cups, or eventually when we played Hamilton, in the last game pre-COVID, Hamilton had 4 ex-senior players in it that all played with Kilmarnock, Hamilton, Motherwell, St Mirren, and you could see that was a level above us that we wanted to try and aspire to. But I mean, some of the Viewfield over the years have had Lovenkrands and Charlie Miller and Andy McLaren and all that playing. So these guys they can still play. Yep, they might not have the running or the legs anymore, but there's a lot of older guys with good footballing brains that can still play. They just manage the pitch a lot better.
Did we not win? Did we not win that second half against Hamilton?
I
don't know.
I'm sure we did. I'm sure we won it.
I remember the first half.
Nah, we seen you say manage the ball better. Do you mean like day less running? Is that what you mean with that?
Yeah, aye. It's knowing when to pick your runs and when just send somebody else.
Did that come off? Did that come off injured by chance?
Yeah.
I don't even know if you started the game, big man.
I wasn't there that night, Ian. I was injured. Sure, I'd played the 2 weeks before and got injured and came off just after half time.
The judges, obviously you've came over to Thorn. You mentioned you used to play against them. Was the attraction coming here? Maybe that you would get a few of these old boys involved.
100%. I've already spoke to a few boys that I've played against in the past, and they're all right up for it as well. And it's no. I'm not saying that they're going to come in and they're going to start every week right away because there's a good nucleus there. They're going to need to work their backside off to get into the team, like we all did to start with. You know what I mean? I played at not a bad level, and I didn't get a game when I first went down. It's as simple as that. You had to work to get a game, so that it's not as if you just walk in and you play. It's although we're not training as such. If you're not there, you don't play. It's still a club. It's still a football team. You've got to show a wee bit of commitment, a wee bit of desire, and you've got to respect the people that are in charge of the club. Because at the end of the day, we're now moving to a bigger club that respect's demanded.
That's it. And Gary, Jim just touched on it there, mate. Obviously, you're coming with a nucleus of a squad, but is it you going to? The structures are there in place for everybody to go and be successful, and it's all very well saying it's 35s and you just want to kick about, but you want to win at the end of the day, don't you?
That's it, Derek. So it was it wasn't just like the Limerick Rangers thing was great, and it just didn't give us that. We wanted to move up a level, and I'd get talking to Mark and stuff like that, and I like the structures so much better, and it was to give us that more of a. See, like you've got the amateur team, so like for them to move, to give them a bridge to go somewhere else afterwards, and there's like a lot of great players that play with the Thorn, and it would just give them a chance to continue to play, and it would give us a better standard, and we can maybe reach for a bigger goal.
Aye, see, if the big thing for me is now you can come in at 3-year-old to the Thorn, and you can play to your 50 if your legs are late. Yeah. That's a massive thing for us.
That's brilliant.
Started with kind of one team, and it's a big thing for us. We always wanted to do it, we just didn't have the people really to go and give it 100% attention. So when this fell in our lap, mate, honestly, McGee's never texted me so quick in his whole life. So it's a testament to use it, because McGee is. The Thorn's where it is because of Mark McGee, right? I want to do everything, he doesn't want to do anything, and we kind of meet somewhere in the middle. But when it came to the 35s, mate, he was all for it, and that's a testament to use, because he's usually scared to do anything new. But so I'll keep that to myself. I'll make the edit that bit out. Ian, you're obviously.
See, just to pick up on Gary's point there.
Sorry, mate, on you go. Close.
See, just to pick up on Gary's point. I think initially it was about getting the guys over the white line and playing football at a certain age. But as Nabby says, we won that league quite comfortably. What it did do is give us a taste for winning, and that habit dies hard in a lot of other players. So the move or the migration across to the Thorn to improve us and take us to the next level, we want to be competing against the likes of that Hamilton team that we played against pre-COVID and beating them.
By the way, and they're definitely no unbeatable with a couple of additions and a couple of and people trapping every week. So it's definitely no out of the question.
Yeah,
correct.
I think we made the decision that, what do we want to do? Did we still want to just kick a ball? But as I say, the winning habit dies hard, and for us, it's about improving and actually winning, and that's what we want to do. Every time you play a game of football, you want to win, don't you?
Listen, it's good listening these days because you could easily just go up, get the slippers on, and have a kick about on a Friday night. It's good to hear that you want to win things because these guys that are coming out, the amateurs, have used to be winning things, and they don't want to go into a 35 setup that's just a kick about. You know what I mean? So it's good in a way that you are want to be, you are ambitious. Albeit with it's.
You've no excuse now.
No, that's it, mate.
No.
It's me. I only qualified for the 35s last week, mate. I know I look older, but I'm only just qualified. And I still want to get a game. You need to get 2 strips together to get me in that team. But anyway, I coach on a Friday night anyway. I'm unavailable, sorry about that. But mate, obviously I've known you for years and years, mate. It's good to get you on Thorn and Ian, and I'm glad these are all here. And everyone's going to bring their own qualities. Now, Gary, what's the main plan? What's happening next? I know we can't kick a ball, but what's next? Is it getting strips organised? Is it making sure you've got the same level? What's next for you in terms of getting this team up and running?
So at this point in the moment, we've got a set of strips that we're going to rebadge to the Thorn, and then we're in the middle of conversation with a couple of people about sponsorship. So
Brilliant.
we'll wait till that goes forward, and then obviously we can talk to you guys. I've already spoke to Mark about a couple of things as well, so
good.
We'll hopefully have that up and running shortly, and then hopefully get a game soon.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. Now we're just wanting games.
I know. I mean, it's.
I think the first port of call will be a game amongst ourselves, to be perfectly honest with you, just to see where we all stand. And plus, it gets everybody to meet each other. It gets the players that are not used to the Thornwear things to realise that they need to step up to the plate as well, because it's a whole different dynamic now.
Mm-hmm. Good. I mean, get a couple of beers down the cabin at the McMaster's, mate. Get it sorted, and I'm sure he's will work it all out. I mean, I'm sure a few beers can sort any problems out. Never mind.
We've also as well have the season before. Obviously, we were limited. We couldn't get the pitch at limit, so we were fortunate enough to get B's 3G. Obviously now with that development league that's kicked off, they're going to be playing on a Friday night, so it might be a bit problematic. So I've spoke to the powers that be at Johnston Hub, so that we can actually be local in Johnston on the Friday nights.
That'd be ideal.
It's going to be a while away. I don't know what the situation is going to be after COVID with the hub in general. The hours might have changed, or it might just not be available. I don't really know, but I've already started the ball rolling. We're trying to get us in the centre of Johnston for our home games. So I think that'd be pretty appropriate, and I think it'd be good to get the guys down.
We're trying our best to make sure all our teams play in Johnston. It's just very difficult with his facilities available at the moment.
I know.
My team playing B, the amateurs playing Garnock, you know what I mean? They're all
now.
So fingers crossed things happen at the academy, and then Friday night football hopefully won't be an issue for you, you know what I mean? You'll be a pitch to play on down there, but obviously that's down the line. But I honestly think he'll pull in a great crowd in Johnston on a Friday night if the weather's not bad, you know what I mean?
We would.
Folk are dying to get out the house, mate, and see, given this second Friday night football, you know what I mean? It's ideal. Folk are just want to get through a Friday night so they can get to their Saturdays for their own football or get out. So to have something to do on a Friday night would be ideal, and we're well supported clubs, you know, and you won't watch the amateurs and they pull in bigger crowds than some of the West.
I've obviously done a few I've read a few of the amateur games pre-season when they've played some junior mobs down at McMaster. and there's been a fair crowd for a friendly. You know what I mean? So there is a big local support for the Thorn, and I think that's all to do with the amount of work that you do within the community. Everybody in Johnston knows the name Thorn and what it stands for.
Yeah.
And
So,
you guys are just going to add to that as well. It's another string to the bow on it, and having a 35s team is going to bring attention, and hopefully it's a successful one. I don't see any reason why not with the people involved. So it works both ways. I mean, we're delighted to have yous, and yous have got your name now to go and make yourselves as good as you want to be. So it's going to work even better. The question I want to ask now, Ginge, is the nights out, are they going to be in the clippings, and is everybody invited when it opens back?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, Dale. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but I understand we're still there's still a connection here with the Thorn as well. So I ain't a greedy person, Dale. I ain't greedy. We can do certain things, certain nights, and make sure everybody gets a wee bite of that pie.
Aye, mate. Don't worry. I mean, there's plenty of folk and money to go around in terms of the money we spend on a night out, mate. So you'll be fine. So will the Thorn in, especially when we're dying for the pubs to open again.
Aye, definitely, buddy, definitely.
So, come back to you, mate. You've got the biggest Thorn connection for me with little Nicholas that played with my team. So, hopefully you're well versed in how we ran. But are you pleased that you're going to be at the Thorn and hopefully add to our success?
Absolutely, aye. Just kind of going back to what Gary was saying about the structure of the club. We know it's a well-run club, and as much as Linwood Rangers, as it were, is a well-run club as well, there's a gap. There's a bit of a disconnect between the kind of oldest age group and then ourselves because of that lack of an amateur side. So, for me, it was a no-brainer when we started these discussions. And if we can, I mean, going back to the pool of players, that might have been a concern where there was kind of all rivalries, as it were. But see now, the guys are part of the one team and they're teammates now, and that'll happen with the boys that come from the side of things. It'll just make us even more stronger and kick us on as a team and more importantly as a club now. So I'm absolutely looking forward to it. We just want to get back.
I know that's it. Everybody's the same, mate. I think the kind of 12 to 17-year-olds are going to get back non-contact soon. But I can't. I'm trying to predict. We're trying to get ahead of the game, but you just no idea what's going to happen for over 18s. Don't need to tell you, it's been a nightmare. But hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe in the summer we'll get kicking a ball about a football pitch. You know what I mean? But just need to stay patient. It's great that you've got this done. You'll probably get more time to get organised now, so that when everything comes back, you get the strips and the trackies and the Thorn badge over you, so you're ready to hit the ground running. But as I say, I'll leave that there, guys. I mean, thanks very much for joining us. We're really looking forward to you being part of the Thorn. We're chuffed to bits with guys that you, like the calibre of yourselves, that are going to be running a team, because it's been a want of us for a while to get 35s in the go, and to get it done without me and McGee probably having to do much is obviously a very much a highlight. So we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting a couple of more trophies in that McMaster's cabinet, or the academy, I better call it. McGee will be in trouble, and looking forward to a few nights out in the clippings if I'm going to no lying. Right, guys, everyone, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks very much, Derek.
Take care.
Everyone.
Morning, Tom.
Thanks
very much, mate.
See you later.
See you later.